Welcome back. I think it's time we talk about time. There are several parts of the console related to timing. Let's first look at wait, follow, fade, and delay time. Now I've gone ahead and created a cue list here. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to double tap choose, which brings me to the chosen master window. And I can see my 5 cues. Q1 lights up in a blue wash, Q2 in a position, Q3 in a red wash, 4, gobo downstage center, and 5, a cyberlight sweep. The first column of this window is the wait column, and this determines when a cue triggers. I'm going to select Q2's wait cell and input a value of 3. Once I play Q1, a timer starts to go down, and 3 seconds later, Q2 is automatically triggered. Let's switch Q2 to have a follow time instead. Follow time is a time from the end of the previous cue, and wait time is a time from the start of the previous cue. Time can also be added to the follow. In addition to wait and follow, we have halt, which sets it to no time information, as well as timecode, manual, and clock. Timecode is a signal that can be sent to the console to synchronize the cues and other audio-visual elements. Clock cues trigger at a certain time or recurrence pattern. Let's check out some other time functions. Mark, fade, delay, and path. Mark allows lights to prepare values for the next cue. Fade time is the crossfade duration of the cue. Delay is the time from the cue triggering that values start to fade, and path is the route the cue takes. Let's adjust Q1 to have a fade time of 1, and Q2 a time of 3. Time can also be entered via the command line. For example, Q3 time 4 enter. Additionally, up-down time can be used. So Q3 time 2/4 enter will set any light going down in intensity to 4 seconds and any light remaining going up over 2. Let's play Q4. Note how the hyperstars fade up from their previous position and color. Sometimes that's preferred, but in this case, I would prefer a mark cue for this situation. I'll assign that. Go back 2 cues, trigger Q3, and once Q3 is completed, the mark will begin for Q4. When I trigger Q4, all non-intensity parameters are already set for the cue. That way, when you press play, the only thing that fades is intensity. Let's assign a delay to Q5 of 1. I press go, and delay simply is just additional time from the cue triggering to start the fade of values. This on its own can be useful in some cases, but I really like to use delay time with discrete timing, which I'll cover shortly. Let's set it back to 0. Let's open this cue and make changes by double tapping the cue key. Now this is the cue editor. I could adjust the parameter values for this cue, but for now, I just want to input custom time information for fade and delay. This is done via the time key and kind keys to filter my input. I'm also going to turn off show state to only show me the raw values for this particular cue, and select fade to see fade times. Let's do this. Position, time 8, enter. Color, time 0, enter. And beam, time 10, enter. And intensity, time 5, enter. Now I have set some custom fade times via the command line. I'll press Update to confirm these changes, and let's take a look at the difference. We now have a more interesting transition on stage. Intensity took 5 seconds, position 8, color just snapped in over 0 seconds, and the zoom took about 10 seconds. Let's take this a step further with delay time. I'll open the cue again, and to access delay time, we will use the time key twice. So, for example, intensity, time, 1, enter, and position, time, 2 through 0 through 2, enter. And as you can see in the editor, intensity will delay 1 second, and position actually has a fanned delay time from 2 to 0 and back to 2. Let's see what that did. I'll press Update, go back, and replay the cue. Because the intensity time was delayed, the fixtures were already moving and the color was already snapped in. And since we did a fanned position delay, our lights created a V shape while transitioning, creating a neat look on stage. Using discrete timing like this might not be essential for all shows, but can certainly be used to elevate your cues. Let's take a look at how time works in the programmer. Normally, you cannot see time live on stage, but by turning on fade changes, the programmer window will follow fade and delay time. Now in playback, I also have a cue running that sets my fixtures to full and downstage. I'll select them, 1 through 12, enter, select red mix, and type time 0 through 1, enter. Let's pick another color, and I can see my fade time in action. Let's reverse it instead. Time, 1 through 0, enter. I'm going to record this with some cues. Record, choose, another color, record, choose, another color, record, choose, and clear. Let's check out what this produced. I'll assign some follows. And let the list loop. A neat trick, if you want to add an extra step to this, copy a cue into your programmer. Cue 1, copy, enter, which is copy cue 1's contents into my programmer, including fade and delay time. I'll add in blue, 1 through 12, blue, record, enter, clear, and I've now added a blue step into my cue list. If you're not a fan of typing, you can also adjust the fade and delay time via the encoder wheels. And all those awesome encoder wheel shortcuts from earlier, like fan, period, pig, slash, those work here as well. Time can also be stored into a palette. You just have to mask it in. By the way, that segmenting and budding feature from earlier, that works here too. 1 through 12, full, select red, open my programmer. I'll assign a segment of 3, and I'll do time for delay. And as you can see, it repeated my timing every 3 fixtures. I'll pick another color. To record this to a palette, hit record, enable time on your kind masking toolbar, and touch the palette. Time-only palettes can be used. All you have to do, assign a value, and assign the palette. Let's see those in action. That's pretty cool. I'll turn it into a chase. Play it and scale it via the encoders or by changing my control set. Thanks for watching. You're one step closer to mastering the Hog console.